Welcome to Clixed Off Sudden Death, brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama. Check them out at luckydicecafe.com. And now for your hosts, Alex Coons
and Sam Powell.
Welcome everyone to this another edition of Clixed Off Sudden Death, a Heroclix podcast where we talk latest news, tournament reports, and more important Heroclix information to keep on your game. I'm your host, Alex Coos, and joining me today, she puts the queen in quarantined. It's Sam Powell.
Hey guys, you come up with the weirdest things, Alex. It's so funny.
I think the word queen can be made in quarantine, so that's why I came up with it.
I think so.
This is a reminder, Clixed Off is sponsored by Troll and Toad. Shop trollandtoad.com for all your Heroclix needs, probably because it's the only place you can shop right now for your Heroclix needs. It has one of the largest inventories of Heroclix figures and sealed items on the web. Currently, they're running their spring sale. I have no idea how it lasts, but definitely check them out because they have some good deals. I was looking at some brick that was like very cheap.
Battle World?
Yeah, it's Battle World.
It's Battle World.
Yeah, I almost jumped on it, but, wife told me to save some money, so I did it.
Yeah. Hey, Theo's going to join us, too, so if you hear anything,
Sweet.
It's Theo.
So, we're going to just go ahead and jump into this. We got a decent amount of stuff to talk about, even though it's kind of a weird, slow world today. So let's go to click, as Theo says, click number 1.
Click 1. News and upcoming events.
All right, news and upcoming events. So, let's kick it off with the most recent news. So Origins, right? WizKids isn't going to be at Origins. They've already said they're not doing anything till after third quarter or the beginning of third quarter. I think it's not till just like the later half of the year. So that puts some things into question. Worlds as of now is fine. They haven't mentioned anything like that. That's not till October. The Rock Cup isn't done by WizKids. They support the Rock Cup, but they're not at the Rock Cup. So right now, the Rock Cup is fine as well. But Origins, Nationals is gone. The Origins as of today is still happening, but WizKids will not be there. Therefore, Nationals will not be there. And we have no idea when Nationals is going to happen.
That's the scary thing. It's kind of like, what is going to happen? Are they going to just cram everything into, Memphis, Tennessee, at Graceland? And then you have people like, well, this is back in the old days of when we had at Origins, when people complained. And I mean, I know it's a lot of clicks and it's crazy, but then you have to think you have Team Nats, Nationals, Team World, and then World. Like,
that sounds great to me, though.
It sounds like fun, but it's almost like, are they going to condense something? Are they going to say, hey, we're not going to have any Team Nationals this year? Or, I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, they could extend it as long as the place is open. Like, so instead of, I guess, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because Monday is a holiday, I think is what they were saying. So that's why they're doing stuff all day Sunday. So they could back it up and say, hey, we're going to add on Wednesday. So Wednesday through Sunday, 5 days of clicks. And you come in on Wednesday for qualifiers, Thursday's Nats, and then start going the rest of the time. I mean, they could do something like that. The problem is that everything's still in flux. We have no idea if we're going to be even able to do anything in October.
Yeah, that's the scary part. It's kind of like things kind of shut down. And so, we love this game and we can't travel to play it. And I mean, I know we have online, but I mean, it's also sad because Nats was the time to play like your pre-rotation team one last time, like if you really loved ID cards and you had this perfect team that you've just perfected for all the, couple years, and you were like, this is going to be my last hurrah, I'm going to play it out, and then it's gone. Like, just like that. So.
Yep. Now, as of today, you still have maybe one opportunity. States was moved from April this month to June. I honestly don't think that's going to happen just because I don't think this is going to all wrap up in June. What should happen is they shouldn't still allow events by June, but we'll see. I don't really, people go to this podcast to escape that kind of talk, so I don't want to talk about it. But States was moved to June, pending any other changes. So we're kind of in a weird place. Like you said, we don't have any pre-rotation, if you will, events outside of ROC Online, which I'll talk about here shortly. So you're kind of no last hurrah for some figures.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer.
So it is kind of a bummer, but we got to be safe about it. So I appreciate that WizKids did make that announcement when they did. Because, there was a lot of people that was kind of like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, do I buy my plane tickets? I know we already had things playing with our team, but, they didn't wait till Origins made the decision. They were like, we're going to come out and say, look, we're not going to be there. Like, if they even have it, we're not going to be there. So.
Yeah, it's actually kind of baffling that Origins hasn't made their decision yet because, the Olympics was moved.
Yeah.
Wimbledon, the PGA, like everything is canceled through basically the summer, and then you still got Origins that's like, June, we're cool. I foresee it. They're gonna close. They're not gonna do it this year. I guarantee it.
My only worry with it is that they're going to WizKids will, and this is just me thinking out loud, and don't listen to me mostly, but I'm just worried that they're going to be like, hey, okay, we're going to have Worlds in Memphis, but we're going to have Team Nats in New York, or we're going to have it in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Again, and it's going to be like crazy.
I don't think that'll happen only from the standpoint of there's so much uncertainty still that they don't probably want to book an area. They probably have a couple areas in mind, but I think what makes the most sense. It isn't like we're not used to nationals and worlds back to back. It was only 2 or 3 years ago that they split them. So they're used to running things like that. And while ideally it should be split, this is not an ideal year so far. So, it makes the most sense just to do the worlds, but
that just makes a long weekend.
Which I think people will appreciate after everything we're going through so far.
That's true.
Is to have a nice long weekend. Yeah, exactly. I would almost probably take that whole week and just go. Actually, now that I think about it, if they did expand that, I have family up in Nashville, so I would go up, spend a couple days up there, and then head over to Memphis for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, Dale and I have already been planning. I took my vacation away in June. I put my vacation in for Worlds because at first I thought I'm not gonna be able to go to Worlds if I go to Nationals, but now that Nationals is canceled, I'm gonna be able to go to Worlds. Looks like, and so we took a couple of days, a day of travel on each end, so we're not stressing. And plus, I can get to the hotel room and sleep, without having a child.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Worlds, I can't, I hope you could go to Worlds because I think you'll love it. It was a blast last year.
Yeah, I'm hoping because I really want to get back, and I'm kind of sad that I can't play, a team that I've been kind of trying to tweak and everything with ID cards, but I guess we'll go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, well, you still got a little bit of opportunity because guess what? ROC Online is trying to help every Heroclix player's mental health. Now, yes, I am a little bit biased about this because I do run ROC Online, and we have basically experienced exponential growth. Before all this kind of happened, we were, struggling on some days to get 8 people for a win-a-map, and that's because events were running and it was kind of a dead period. But now, as of tonight, tonight's win-a-map as of right now has 20 people playing in it.
That's insane. That's qualifier numbers right there.
Exactly. And the benefit, though, is that Howard and I worked out some additional prizing, because the issue we have with prizing is that, all the Heroclix con LEs and stuff he gets from WizKids, who ships it via Alliance. Alliance is closed. So we don't have all of our prizing. Now, he does have a lot of maps, and so what we have done is we have kind of altered a Winamap in the sense that the Winamap kit stays the same through the first 8 people. Every additional 4 people, we will add a map to the prizing, and it'll go down first to second to third to fourth. And then it's a minimum of 2, so it's kind of complicated, but say we have 8 people, a 9th one pays in, still going to be that one Winamap, but as soon as we hit 10, it rounds up, so there will be a map added, and that continues on for 13, for 17, I guess, something like that. So definitely
That's
a great,
awesome.
definitely a great time to come out and play, because even with 20 people means I think 4 maps, so you still have a decent chance. Now I think they're still only going to do like 4 rounds, because unfortunately on a Friday night, starting at 7, anything past 4 rounds is going to get a little late.
Yeah.
But we might do an additional round. I don't know yet. But we've got some big events. We've got a Winamap every Tuesday and Friday, and we've added one Saturday nights. Not this Saturday. You won't. Well, I say is it not the 4th. Let me say that. This is probably coming out after the 4th. But every Tuesday, Friday, Saturday night, there is a Winamap. The 14th and the 24th of April, I decided that is going to be post-rotation only. So if you want to get some of that practice in playing some of your post-rotation teams, you can. JLU, Black Widow, and the Fantastic Four starter will be legal. And obviously, you do not have to own the figures from those 3 sets. You still have to own everything else, but you don't have to own from those 3 sets. We are also doing a qualifier on April 18th and a qualifier on May 2nd. So keep that in mind. Check out the ROC page, roc.ionsuite.com. We've got tons of events planned. And we are, if it looks like it's sold out, hop on the Discord, send the judges and me a message. I'll get on there and add some more entries. There's no limit to how many people can play. Because we know people are dying to get some Heroclix play in, and ROC Online is trying their best to get some competitive play going. Yeah. Until things get back to normal, technically, this is the meta.
Yeah, I mean, this is the way to...
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that, like, I know Daniel's been trying to stream his stuff, and I know that PJ streams the stuff, so even if you don't play, there are streams up. Of these happening, so you can watch and kind of take notes or learn from. And I know I talked to Daniel, I said we need to really record some stuff, like some fun games, because obviously, I mean, it's gonna be weird because the guys all come to our house for WrestleMania, and they have for like 4 or 5 years, and they spend the whole day here. So like they get here like 8 o'clock in the morning, we play Clix all day. They record fun games. We watch the WrestleMania all night, and we can't even do that this year because obviously the coronavirus. So now it's kind of like I told Daniel, I was like, we kind of need to record some fun games. Like, let's get your Wendigos out and do something fun or something just for people, because I know people are like, well, we haven't seen a Clixed Off video in a while, but it's just been. I know we've been sheltered, but I've also been crazy because I work in healthcare, so if you can only imagine.
Oh, yes. So yeah, hopefully we've got some events coming. We've got some content coming. We've got plenty to help your mental health I mean, I'm more introverted than extroverted, which you wouldn't think so considering I do 2 podcasts, but I've thrived in this more. Like, I've found myself going outside more, spending time with my kids more. That sounds bad, but I work from home now, so I literally do spend more time. So definitely look up on some ROC Online stuff. Definitely make sure to check out our Clixed Off pages to see some new content coming down the line.
And now, if you are new to it and you don't know how to do stuff, send us a message. You know, I know Alex and Daniel and Tyler and all them, they would gladly walk you through like how to set up stuff. Even if you just want to play with your buddy. Like, say you like, I don't want to jump in a Winamap. I don't want to play against all the meta. I just want to play with me and my buddy want to play like a fun scenario like Batman versus the Joker team scenario. if you don't know how to set it up, just message us and we'll help you out.
Yeah, and on top of that, like we've had plenty of people join our ROC Online Discord because we have over 400, 500 people now. And there's constantly all days people looking for a match. Like they just want to play. They just want to play a game. And we've had so many new people. So you're not just gonna be playing the PJs and the Dans of the world. So don't freak out. There's plenty of new people out there that want to play a game. Play some post rotation stuff too. I hear a lot of that as well. So definitely check out the Discord. Sure.
Yeah.
So we did have one tournament. So let's go on to Click 2 tournament reports and analysis.
Click 2 tournament reports and analysis.
We're in tournament reports and analysis. So I'm not going to go about ROC Online maps. They're getting bigger. Maybe I need to, but we did have a qualifier last weekend. We had 22, 23 people. We had a lot of people, which was fantastic. The biggest event we have ever done. We had 22 people. So, man, it was a long day. Changes to some things, starting about an hour earlier than normal because noon was a little too late. And I unwisely, as I judged, made the events like the maximum amount of time, like the rounds. So that added almost an additional hour because we did like 6 or 7 rounds. So anyway, so I have the top 8 builds. Ultimately, it was Eric Mulherin. I'm bad with bad with last names. But Eric was the winner. He won. He was the let's see, what seed was he going into the top 8? He was, I believe, the third seed. He played Unimind with Cersei and Macaria Eternal, so only 2 Eternals, and then he played a lot of dice manipulation, Trelane and Q Prime, and Groot, along with Uni, and so he beat out Jay Solomon in the finals. It was a very, very close game. Jay was playing Dark Phoenix, Groot, Dark Phoenix at 30, Groot, 4 Floor Colossus, Mangog, Q Prime, Mr. Oz, and Lockjaw. So kind of a weird high theme.
That must have been like a fantastic game. I love the Uni Trailing Q team. And when Trailing came out, I was like, oh man, he's got Cosmic. And I told Dan, I was like, I really want to play with Uni. But then, of course, Dan was like, don't play dice manipulation. But I'm like, I really like Trailing. So I was really happy to see that team win.
Yeah, I think Trey Lane was one of Eric's MVPs as I was kind of casually watching.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, because he was able to stay in the back and help manipulate the die because Q obviously has to be within range, which is a lot riskier.
Yeah, so. and Trey Lane could just map wide. Doesn't have to be within range. Yep. And he's got that stop click. So he's kind of hard to take down.
Yeah, definitely. So. He's going to be a sad piece to see go because he does rotate. Some of the other top seeds, Dan made top 8 also with his Uni, Lockjaw, Floor Colossus, Wonder Woman team.
Yeah.
The usual. Lucas Van Hollen played his typical Immortal Hulk, Sheriff Strange, E-Tree, or I-Tree, however you say it, Mr. Oz, and a Tri-Sentinel, and a 25-point Magneto 2x2. Emily, guest of the show a long time ago, she played her Vulture team, Steve Rogers, Fixer, Phil Coulson, Shield Diplomat Vulture, I already said Vulture, but Everett Ross, and a Pocket Tank.
Nice.
Yeah, and then we had a couple others. We had Paris, who played Ultra Chase Thanos with Jason Weingard. Connor Steinbergen played another Vulture team. And then Matt Donham slipped his way into 8th place by playing Onslaught and Immortal Hulk together. So
I think that's a team to be worried about. There.
Yes, especially post rotation.
All you have to say is Onslaught and Immortal Hulk. And that scares me. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're gonna talk a little bit about rotation stuff. definitely that is a team that is you're going to see come rotation. It doesn't require a lot. He played it with 4 IDs and 2 Carnages and stuff, and you could switch those out. He played it with 2 Wendigos, WWE Ring, Venom Symbiote, and 2 Carnages, 4 IDs. So take away the IDs, the Carnages. You still got some room for either more Wendigos or, let's see, it's monster theme. So it's one of the Proteus monsters, so I think you could do that as well. So there's a lot of room out there to add some stuff. It's definitely going to be a very interesting world come rotation. And we're going to talk about what we are looking at for rotation here in just a couple minutes. But first, Sam, you put out there some that we were looking for some questions. We don't do questions all the time.
Just want to do something different.
Yeah, why not? So what questions did we get?
Let's see. Okay. So McConnell asked, now that we've seen all the JLU chase styles, what do you think are the top 3 trouble alerts from the Batman set in JLU combined, and the best trouble alert in JLU? Troublemaker in JLU, sorry.
So he's combining the 2 or separating the 2? Or is that the second question with the troublemakers?
The troublemaker's second question.
Okay, so
top 3 trouble alerts.
Yeah. So what do you think? What are your top 3 trouble alerts?
Top 3 for me, obviously Firestorm.
Yeah. I
love Wonder Woman. So she's definitely on my sideline. And I want to say the Flash, because he comes out with hypersonic.
Okay, so you're not going any JLU, because JLU, Green Arrow, Wonder Twins, Black Vulcan, and Samurai.
Oh, sorry, Black Vulcan. I'll take Black Vulcan over Flash.
Over Flash? Black Vulcan's good.
Yeah, he's really good. He's very good. So, those are my top 3 that I would have on my sideline.
Okay. I will agree with Firestorm. I think he is by far the best out of this bunch. At second, this is tricky. See, I love Wonder Woman. She's great because she has leadership. She's the main reason. That's the main reason I like her. She could pop in and give you leadership.
Pop in, leave it, and she also has that token thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's kind of hit or miss with that, but it's definitely, if you can hit it in the clutch moments, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at some of the newer ones. I'm okay with Black Vulcan, but energy explosion, poison, penetrating poison, that's cool. Samurai is kind of meh. I didn't like Samurai very much, but I'm looking at Green Arrow and the Wonder Twins. So Green Arrow, I think, could be very interesting because that whole Dr. Gulliver bystander, if you play, all right, I'll say this. Green Arrow will be my number 2 if you were playing a team that does not rely on equipment. So if you're playing a Starro Colossal team, or you're playing the Onslaught Hulk team, you just don't equip at all, then Green Arrow might go to the top of my list, because you can call him in, trouble alert him in, and then your opponent gets that Dr. Gulliver. Now, if you KO the Dr. Gulliver, or if it is KO'd, Green Arrow goes to click 1. Sweet. That means even if he's taking damage, he'll still go to click 1. But every turn, they have to roll a d6. If they roll a 1, everyone on the map becomes tiny. If I'm reading that right. Yeah, at the beginning of your turn, all other characters, all the standard characters, have the tiny symbol instead, and their equipment becomes unequipped. So you're giving them a outwit piece, which is dangerous. But they're going to have to roll every turn, and they have a chance to roll a 1, and all their equipment becomes unequipped. And at that point, a lot of the unequips are KO'd. So you give them a Gulliver, they roll that, and all of a sudden, hey, I've got 25 points. Just from a Dr. Gulliver. So I like that. People keep talking up the Wonder Twins. And I don't get it.
So here's my thing, is when the Wonder Twins came out, Daniel goes, I was asking him about the chases, and we're talking about it. He's like, yeah, there's this this piece called the Wonder Twins, and he's like joking around with it. And I'm like, okay, so I'm reading the card. I'm like, okay, so this is the chase that's literally gonna cost $10, like, because it's so bad. But I can see where people can kind of exploit it a little bit. But I don't see myself playing it. But I don't know.
I don't get it. I don't honestly get it either, because the key thing is they could pop out, and then they could choose a dark blue standard power and a purple standard power as a free action, and they can use it until their next turn. So that's essentially
close combat expert.
Yeah, pen side. They have 4 range. Yeah. They already have smoke cloud, phasing, and shape change, so they could get willpower. They could get, like you said, smoke cloud. Yeah, I don't know, man. Plasticity, that just doesn't do enough for me. So yeah, no. I'll go Black Vulcan as my third.
Yeah.
Or Wonder Woman. It'll be a tie between Black Vulcan and Wonder Woman for third. Yeah. What about just JLU? With Black the with the Troublemakers. That was the second question. Was just JLU with everybody?
Troublemaker and JLU.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I mean, I feel like Brainiac has to be the number one answer. So I almost think we should exclude him because he's just ridiculous. The guys have talked about Brainiac, so we won't go into too much detail. But Brainiac is just dumb.
Brainiac's no good. Points. Okay, people, he sucks.
Yes, we do not want Brainiac to be $400. So Brainiac is bad.
It's bad. I don't know. What are your things? What are your thoughts? Because I'm kind of blanking here.
Well, I mean, to be honest, all the Troublemakers are pretty good. Let's call it Trouble because they don't die, right? Yeah. I mean, they do, right? They do. You could kill them, like literally just kill them. Mm-hmm. It's just at the beginning of their turn, you roll a die, and they can return to the sideline, and then I guess do this again. Grodd is probably really good.
Yeah, I was thinking him too.
Lex, people want to like Lex. I had Lex. I got rid of Lex just because of prices, but I don't think he's very good. So, yeah, I'm gonna go Grodd because Black Manta is okay too. Maybe if King Sharks were still a thing, Black Manta would be great, but they're going away too. Sorry, Sam.
I'm gonna miss King Sharks.
So yeah, Grodd. If we're leaving Brainiac as back to 1.
Yeah, Grodd's probably the next best.
Yeah, and then who cares about third at that point? Because there's only 4 of them.
Christian Bogan asks, how many Dr. Fates is the right amount? I feel like having just 2 isn't efficient enough, and having 5 or more is too much. Well, my husband is going to have like 75 of them, so.
Right. So
I mean, I think we're up to 7. I think we have 7.
7. So I think you need 10 for your family because you both play.
Yeah.
But it's 5 plus gives you the action plus 2. You do not need more than 5.
Yeah, because if you have more than 5, I mean, here's the thing: you need to collect 6. Because you know that there's always going to be that one that's going to like jump out of the box on its own and decide to go down to the kitchen and get a snack one night, and then you're going to be like, where's that 6? I need a Dr. Fate. Why can't I go ask one can find 4?
Exactly. Yeah.
So collect 6 just to have an extra.
But to kind of get why, if he's talking more about playing those figures, 5 fates are fine. I mean, that puts you at 105 points, I believe. 65 for the first one, 4 more at 10 points apiece, 105. Gets you 4 fates, and with TK, and it gives you +2 actions. That's nuts. Same with the enhancement. So you can really boost up figures. Like you could play a figure like Speedy, who has the pulse wave from range. Like you can choose a spot, and you can have all these Dr. Fates next to him to give him a +3 damage. I know you'll see a ton of Fates with Batman Prime. So
yeah,
5 is fine. I think the +2 action total is just nuts. Add the Power Woman and the leadership, and you're just going to be whooping everybody with 7 actions.
Yeah,
So.
you're just going to have a continuous turn there for a while.
And annoy the crap out of Sam.
Yes. He'll be like, seriously?
It's like, sorry, I've got 7 actions, Sam. I got to do all 7.
I got to do all 7. Hold on,
Can I take back
perplex?
Can I take back action 4 before I do action 5?
No. Absolutely not.
What else
okay,
you got?
Eric Atkinson says, if you watch the series, what are some of your favorite episodes you would want to recreate? Are there team-ups that add the flavor to those builds? I'm looking forward to the episode Date Night, which has a direct team-up. Green Arrow, Black Canary, Huntress, and Question. Each have a team-up that boosts the stat and an extra effect. What do you think of the team with all their team-ups in play? So
about that specific team or the
just like
cards?
if we watch the series, what are some of our favorite episodes and like the team-up cards? So
that actually is probably my favorite team-up also.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that the team-up cards seem to work pretty well.
Yeah.
They make a really good combo, and I almost think it's. Well, I don't know. We'll go into more set reviews, and we'll talk team-ups another episode. Which ones are meta, which ones are good, and which ones are bad. There's quite a few outside of Amazo that are really good. It's just, like if we had some more Justice League figures, maybe this would work. So
yeah, I mean, I think the series all in itself is great. I mean, Dan and I have watched it. I haven't watched it in a long time, so I know one of my favorite episodes was when they all fought Darkseid. I can't remember what it was all called, but that was a good one. So, but I know the Date Night one, that's a good team up. So
definitely.
But okay. Kirk Thomas asks, has any of the team up cards been good enough for meta play? We're gonna go into that in more detail, but obviously Amazo.
Yeah, the Amazo ones are by far the best, and not all Amazo cards are created equally.
Yeah.
The Flash, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern ones are probably the best. Flash being the one you probably want the most. Wonder Woman's pretty good too. It just depends on what your team is that you're building.
Yeah, I like the Martian Manhunter ones with the shape change and stuff.
Yeah, most of the Martian Manhunter ones are great.
If you can get that to work, that's fantastic. So,
and I think part of it is because that Martian Manhunter is great. Like that rare Martian Manhunter for 100 points. With those team up cards, he just does so much. He has traded shape change, super senses, invincible, 4 damage, 11 attack. I mean, he just does so much. Mind control, phasing. So good.
So Jay, okay, what do you want to say?
Oh, no. I was just going to say those Manhunter cards, take a look at those, find some good matchups, because that Manhunter, finally, we have a good Manhunter. So.
Yeah, finally, we got one. So Jason's asking about the 7 Soldiers of Victory theme tune, with all the 7 characters from the show. It's in the set, and that's awesome. So that's gonna make all the non-meta players happy, because there's a lot of players out there that like to make like teams based on like their favorite comic book, or like I really love this episode of Avengers Assemble, and I want to make that versus the bad guys. And so JLU did a really good job with that.
Right.
He's also asking, what's the right amount of Brainiacs to own? Obviously, anyone that you can get your hands on.
I mean, realistically,
2?
You want 2. Yeah. What is likely to happen is you might get 1.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen a single one on sale. Even in this very limited pre-release, people buying cases, I have not seen a single one for sale.
I know there was that one that went for astronomical value, as you would say. The guy was able to get pretty much a buttload of post-rotation stuff or like I'm talking about older stuff like that stuff that's already retired for us.
Golden Age stuff, yeah.
Golden Age stuff. That's the word I was looking for. Astronomical amount of that stuff for it, which I mean, right on, dude. If you want that stuff and you got it, awesome.
Wait, that just makes me super concerned because
yes,
if I pulled a Brainiac, if I had one in my possession, and I'd be debating because right now I probably could put a Brainiac up for $250, $300.
Oh, I would say $350 and you get it.
Yeah. And so the fact we haven't seen, no one's done it. That's super concerning.
Well, my thing is because like if you pull it, you want to keep it because it's so good, and it's like okay, this is going to be fantastic post rotation, but then it's also scary because we don't know when the actual set's coming out now. Like, where is all the product? Like, when's it going to get to us? I don't know.
Yeah, it's tricky. It makes me very concerned. I am only planning on getting one. I plan on trying to get two, but I know for a fact I'm going to get one.
Yeah.
Unless they're just stupid Q Prime prices forever.
Yeah. I can see it being pretty high for a while, but I think once the product gets out in the shelves and people start buying, because again, we're all kind of quarantined, and once we're gonna go back to our stores, people are gonna be like, I'm gonna start buying stuff, just because we haven't had new product in a while. So it'll come down a little bit, but it's still gonna be a $150 chase.
Yeah, I think you'll see Lockjaw prices.
Yeah,
Lockjaw was almost at 200 for a while. It's just
my only thing with Nats being canceled is I was kind of like, man, okay, we'll probably jail you at Nats, so okay, so there's gonna be a lot of Brainiacs probably floating around, because that's kind of how it was with Lockjaw. Lockjaw was up there, selling for $200, and then you got the Nationals, and they were dropping Lockjaws on the table, and his price tanked. So I was kind of hoping for that, but it doesn't look like we're getting that. So, but anyway, but yeah, that's all for our questions. I mean,
it was fun. I like taking questions occasionally. Get some feedback from the community.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to. Yeah, we got fans. Who knew that?
We got fans.
Either that or just people who really like to ask questions.
Yeah.
So two more things we're going to talk about in this click. I know it's a little weird. We talk about tournament reports analysis, but this is kind of our potpourri section most of the time. One thing I wanted to do is rotation is coming up in July, unless there are some unforeseen circumstances. And one thing that doesn't happen enough is we go back and do a mini set review of how a set looks post rotation. This time around is going to be a little different because we don't have IDs. All IDs are going away. So the world is going to look vastly different. So for this episode, we are going to go look at Batman the Animated Series, the oldest set after rotation. And I want to just kind of go through some figures and figure out, hey, are any of these just going to be back in the meta? Because they went away because of ID cards, because of Unimind, because of whales. Did any of these go away and now they have an opportunity to come back?
Yeah.
Do you want me to start, Sam, or have you gotten a chance to look at that?
Well, I got 3.
Okay, go for it.
So I've liked this piece from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Clayface.
Which Clayface? Because we have the super rare that's actually Clayface, and then we have we have both. We have Clayface when he was pretending to be Batman, and then we have actual Clayface. So are you talking about the prime or the super rare?
I think it's the...
Do you remember if it looked like Clayface?
I think so. I'm trying to look at the set here.
Because the super rare Clayface has the trait of shape change with that special shape change thing going on.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I think he's real good.
I think he's got potential. Doesn't he have the monster keyword? Or am I completely thinking of something?
He does. He has Brute, Celebrity, GCU, and Monster.
So he's a piece that you can throw on your monster team.
Very
you know,
true.
with Onslaught and Hulk. So he's got good stats and stuff. So that's a thing. A second one, Baby Doll. I think you'll see her.
All right, now is Dan around there somewhere?
No, we've talked about it. We've talked about it.
Uh-huh.
No, I kind of want to see it done because I think we have like 20 of them. No, I think she has a potential because she's got the celebrity. You can play her, like you could spam her with the Jokers. So,
yeah. Okay.
Second one. I mean, third one. Obviously, I think. A minute.
So you're looking at any of the title characters?
Well, I was looking at Batgirl, Shadow of the Bat. I think she comes back.
Yeah, I think so.
And I'm almost thinking Ventriloquist. Just because of his.
He's an interesting one. I don't know what to make of Ventriloquist. He's pretty good with 40 points. He's got with Scarface, the leadership mastermind. Scarface gives him range combat expert, minimum range. I mean, good.
But it's going to be hard to put on a team because he's only got Arkham Asylum, Gotham City, and Gotham City Underworld. So.
Yeah. And we could talk. Go ahead.
I really think Batgirl comes back. Shadow of the Bat.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think she makes a comeback. But there's a lot of good pieces in this set that you like, oh, that's a really good piece. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Bane. Bane's good with the Venom harness. Kind of hard to take down, but it's also 100 points.
Yeah, I kind of disagree with the Bane. Sorry. That's mostly we've gotten 2 Banes recently. This Bane with the Venom harness is not good because he just doesn't have a way to heal. If he had some sort of steel energy or something, that'd be different.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the Joker's Wild Bane that had like the 10 to 11 clicks, 125, 150 points. I don't remember, but he had a huge long dial. Like, I would rather give him the Venom harness. This one, it's just too short of a dial with no healing, and it just it's an okay figure. I mean, he's probably one of the beefier figures in this set, but from a meta standpoint, I'm not sold on him, unfortunately.
I mean, if you really want to get crazy and make a Gotham City Underworld team, you could put Clock King on your team.
Now, don't say that because Scott Crampton's just going to go crazy.
But he is good.
He's okay. He's okay.
I'm just saying that this is theoretically, if you're not building a cosmic or monster theme team or one of the big ones, and you're like, I'm going to make a Gotham City Underworld, and I've got 40 points.
Okay. I'm with you.
You know.
You did literally name 3 40-point figures that could go on Gotham City. So that works. Got a Clock King, Baby Doll, and Ventriloquist. All 3 of them could fit that role. So there you go.
And side note, if you don't have any of the trouble alerts, get them.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that by some.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Okay. I mean, I didn't really care for this set too much, but...
Well, I do care for the set a bit because I am one of those crazy builds JCU. JCU, Gotham City Underworld.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, I like to build it a lot when we had the old Penguins, but we don't have them anymore. But
thank God.
JLU gives us 2 glorious Gotham City Underworld figures in Ace, who is going to be ridiculous. Because think of how many teams rely on prob control. And Ace is like, nope, you don't get to use prob control outside of theme team probs. And then you've got the common Joker, who does the bomb thing. And we'll talk about them more down the road when we do our review. So I'm looking at a Gotham City Underworld team, and I'm thinking I've got Joker, I've got Ace, that's about what 130 points. I got 170, so I'm going back to Batman. So I'm looking at figures like Common, Joker, who gives prob. Well, actually, I wouldn't do prob because I don't get to use prob anyway. I'm looking at the Poison Ivies because we got 2 good ones. Which one is it? The Fast Forces one is amazing, and then I don't think it's the rare one. I think it is the uncommon one that does some crazy stuff too. I'm also looking at the Batman, mostly because you always have to keep in mind when you're going back and looking at older sets, these team up cards, they don't work with just the figures from that set, like the main character does. But if it's Martian Manhunter team up with Batman, well, you just have to have a Batman, not the Batman from JLU. Like, it just be any of them. So you need to go back and look at the DC sets and say, okay, is there a good Batman that we got that would be useful?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, you can't use the title one because the title one is Batman Cape Crusader, so he's not Batman. And plus, that title character is garbage. But you do have Rare Batman, who, remember, Rare Batman was a thing for a hot minute because he had the, or is it Rare Batman or Uncommon Batman? I think it was Rare Batman's the one with the Batarangs. And so he can use because he can use the Batarang as free instead of a range action, so he could be moved up and then use the Batarang. So you think about him, you think about the uncommon one because he has the switch clicks, goes back and forth between charging and outwitting, and the other one, which is more of a smoke cloud. For JCU specifically, though, I'm looking back at good old Maxi Zeus, who is a very, very good figure. Probably another 40-point figure who's really, really good for JCU. I am looking at Baby Doll. I am looking at Ventriloquist. There's just a lot of figures. The problem is JCU's like right there, and it's can't hold up to a Hulk or to something else yet.
Yeah.
You just have to find the right.
But
combo.
Here's the thing, like you said, ID cards are gonna be gone, so you're not gonna have to worry about a Cyclops getting called in, bumped up to 6 damage, shooting your 40-point piece to oblivion. You're gonna have, and Hulk, I mean, he gets up there, but the right GCU team there's a lot of outwit, and Hulk can be outwitted, so I mean, you could lock him down and just keep wailing on him. So if you can out-action a Hulk, you're gonna win the game.
Yeah, and also keep in mind in this set, they do have a lot of, like, they carried over the trait Justice League Unlimited from the Batman Animated. So you do have a lot of Justice League from Batman Animated that have that trait, the remove an action token, like the pseudo leadership. So you have figures like Hawkman and Hawkgirl, Zatanna. Zatanna, I think, is great. You don't have to with the Mystics, with the Perplex and Prob, she could pop out the bat, the little bat thing, and the bat has enhancement. Like, she's really good, and you're going to be building Justice League more because of JLU. So maybe go back to those sets and be like, hey, maybe I need to get a Hawkman, Hawkgirl, or a Zatanna, or Grey Ghost, something like that. It's definitely a set that has potential to come back because it is a set that was it was a good set internally, but it is very underpowered in some instances. The Batman universe definitely doesn't have Darkseid, outside of obviously Justice League, doesn't have the huge overpowering monsters outside of like Bane and Clayface. So there wasn't much in the set. So
yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to go over Batman again, kind of think of some figures, definitely take a look at. Like pseudo henchmen are okay. There's just a lot of potential out there that you should take a look at. In next episode, we will go over Battle World, so just keep that in mind. So Sam, one last thing in this click. we keep teasing it every episode, and we just never talk about it. What are we building? What are you building?
So I joked with Daniel the other day, and I said I should build my world's team with 5 Wendigos. Just start with 5 Wendigos and go from there. And he was like, he just kind of gave me this look like, really? Like, I don't know if you're joking or being serious. But in all seriousness, like, I've got 2 teams that I'm, tinkering. Oh, 3 teams I'm tinkering on.
Okay.
So, obviously the Ultra Chase Thanos team, because I like the cosmic feel with Dark Phoenix and stuff like that. So I'm working on an Ultra Chase Thanos team. Now this is all depending on like what Daniel wants to play, because we only have one of some stuff. Obviously we only have 1 Q Prime and 1 Thanos. So if he's like, I'm going to Thanos, then I'm like, okay, then I have to go to my second team. But and who knows, I might end up picking a different team. Second team, obviously the monster, like I said, Onslaught, Hulk. I think is a fantastic duo. Deadly, like hard to kill, just can murder stuff.
So how do you feel about Hulk post rotation?
I think he's still good.
I agree.
He's just,
I definitely
yeah. I mean, the only thing that scares me about playing him post rotation is that it can be outwitted, and there's going to be a lot of teams that are like, you're going to have that extra 20 to 30 points, so they're going to be able to put this like low point outwitter on your team. Where in pre-rotation you were like, I don't have room for an outwit, so I'll just have it on my ID card or whatever. So you kind of played your game of like, okay, you used your outwit, I can now engage. Playing Hulk post rotation is kind of scary because there's going to be a lot more outwit out there, so he could be locked down. So tinkering with that, because I think Monster's still a great, and I can start with 5 Wendigos there. Here we go.
Definitely. At least you don't have a Surtur anymore. So
yeah, that's true. And then I think the third is a Vulture team. And I'm not saying Vulture like with all the shield people and my Vulture's my main guy. I'm talking like a Vulture, maybe Thor combo. Just because.
Which Thor are you talking about?
The new Chase Thor.
Chase Thor, gotcha.
Yes. That way Vulture goes on a suicide mission, and then I have Thor in the background going like, okay, bud, thanks for doing what you did. I'm gonna be here for cleanup. So
right.
Those are the 3 teams that I'm tinkering with, and obviously those aren't like finalized teams, but those are like the start of what I'm tinkering with. And obviously, we know what kind of JLU looks like, but I mean, we really haven't seen too much of Black Widow. I mean, we've just kind of like seen little things, but who knows? There could be something fantastic in that set that we're like, okay, we'll scratch every idea we had.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm definitely not jumping on the bandwagon of Batman Prime. Like, he's a great piece, but I'm not jumping on that bandwagon.
What? Why not? Why wouldn't you? So what am I building? Yeah, so my main team, I'm still working on a robot team. Before pre-rotation, I was working on Ultron, Danger Room Magneto, Danger Room Sinister, kind of rocking that team with 2 Tri-Sentinels. Ultron at 100 points. I think 100-point Ultron is the best Ultron.
It is. Truly, it is.
Yeah, you could try to convince me 150 is great with that 14 attack. I get it. It's just 50 points for 3 clicks is not. You don't have enough. You want more. And when Tri-Sentinels ultimately meets their doom, because I'm convinced that I've been saying it before, they were either going to get rotated or they're going to get fixed, and they were not rotated. So someday they'll be fixed. Hopefully before they rotate. Until that happens, I'm going to play them. So being able to drop Ultron to 100 gives him Sidestep, Pensai, Invincible, and Perplex. Perplex is great. I equip a Time Gem to him to give him some prob. I have Danger Room Mags rocking the Exospecs if I could get it, which is another thing that'll happen more often in rotation because not everybody, you can't call in somebody to TK anymore. So you have very limited teams that can get rid of the opponent's objects. And then Sinister does Sinister things. So it's a very solid team. I've practiced it quite a bit. Only pre-rotation, though. I haven't actually... that's all pre-rotation stuff. So looking at post-rotation, currently I'm still rocking Ultron, but Ultron has his best new buddy, Amazo.
Amazo... So nasty.
Yeah.
That's going to be so nasty.
Yeah, I love it. 100 point. Play both robots at 100 points. So Mazo at 100, he still picks 3 powers. You play all the team-up cards you can. You can only play 1 per game, but you get to select 1 each game. Most likely, I am doing the Flash one. Hypersonic, Super Senses, great. Mazo can't be equipped or anything like that. But he gets to pick 3 powers, and then he gets to do it from someone within line of fire and whatnot. But then he keeps them until he chooses again. So beginning of the game, I choose Ultron or Danger Room Magneto because I'm playing him, of course, because he's arguably the best 50-point figure in the game now that once Wolverine and Cyclops are gone. So I could either go offensive with Magneto or defensive with Ultron to give me Invincible. I equip Ultron with Remaker Ring or Mags because it's basically he can copy whatever power they can use, not what's on their dial. So give Amazo Invincible, Shape Change, and Perplex or something because he can hypersonic around and he's got 3 defensive powers: Super Senses, Invincible, and Shape Change. I'm okay with that. And this is going to be an article and stuff I write later once I can actually sit down and do the math. He has so many wide range of powers to choose from. He has that ability that says he only takes a maximum of 1 damage if he can use an ability the opponent attacking him can use. So you could do the math and figure out what is the most common ability, and it might be Sidestep. Well, Ultron's got Sidestep. Might be Toughness. Magneto's got Toughness. Might be Shape Change. Who knows? So there's a lot of flexibility there. Amazo is amazing for a common piece, so I'm definitely playing him on that's probably my main team right now.
It's good. It's solid.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I feel like Amazo is going to be like that pre-errata uni without the bumped up perplex stuff, but like being able to like pick powers, choose, basically like alter the game mid-game. Like if you want to stay offensive or defensive, or Uni can do that now, but like he's kind of limited. But Amazo's going to be like out there, like the possibilities are endless.
Right, and I think WizKids did a good job of making sure he won't be errated, because he can't be healed, he can't be equipped, and he can't be chosen for Mastermind. If any one of those 3 things were able to be possible, then he could be very dumb.
Yeah, he could be just absolutely unkillable, like just
give him he could be equipped, give him a soul gem, even though but give him something. If he can be healed, then all right, then I'm going to have support figures all around him all the time and to keep him healed up. So there's a good thing that I don't think he'll ever get errated because he's not that dumb. He's just good. He's just going to be a good piece. And I wasn't saying that like 3 or 4 months ago. The team-up cards make the difference. Having hypersonic super senses, it's just stupid. Having flurry ESD at the beginning of the game, all right, that's great. Like, I get to choose between these powers. That's awesome. That's what team-up cards should be like. So I appreciate it. And team-up cards obviously come with the caveat of you can't have trouble alerts. You can't have anything on your sideline besides the team-up people. So look into the Mazo team-up cards. Are pretty cool. Other teams I'm building, I am looking at GC. I think Ace and Joker are insane. Ace specifically. So I am looking at that, but that's still way early. I will tell you this. This is my 3rd team that I just started looking at today, and that does work with Black Widow. Is a spy team. You can play a spy team. I don't think I'm going to put Spy Master on it, but you could, because Spy Master makes spy a named keyword and +1 defense in hindering or obscuring. But the new Black Widows are dumb. Like the shifting focus, they are really, really, really good. And we just haven't seen them yet, obviously. We've seen them. We haven't. We don't have them in hand.
Yeah.
But I think they're incredibly good. She can sit in stealth, and you can have all your friends around her, and Prime Batman can't do a thing because when she's on a themed team or your starting force has 2 other characters with Black Widow movie set symbol, opposing characters can't use improved targeting abilities to target her or adjacent friendly characters. So have fun, Prime Batman. You try to shoot me. We're chilling in stealth over here. So have fun. I've been joking around with this today, but I want to play all those Black Widows, and I'm determined now, outside of Robot, to make Prime Morph meta.
You do that, and all these people that have extra Prime Morphs are going to be like, we love you, Alex Coos.
Yes, Prime Morph is garbage. He's 25 points. But he has a spy keyword, so he could go with the Black Widows for just 25 points. And he can run out there, and my dream is he runs out there at Prime Batman, and the Prime Batman player is dumb enough to try to aim for him. And he has shape change, but succeeds on a 4 through 6. When Morph uses it and succeeds, you may choose the new target and may choose a character friendly to the attacking character.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing. Yeah. So, all right. And he's 25 points. So, all right. I'll probably put him on a spy team if I'm not playing another Prime.
If I lose 25 points, I'll lose 25 points. That's like losing a starter. That's a big deal. How many times did your starter get killed right off the bat?
And that's, you know what, Sam, that is a perfect comparison. Surtur, Morph, same thing.
Same. I mean, equal.
100%
equal value, too. I mean, Surtur was like, what's this Prime? Like $80? I mean, Prime Morph's gonna be up there for sure.
All joking aside, I do think Spy might be plausible because these Black Widow figures are actually pretty good. And Spy isn't that bad of a keyword. You might play the Prime Black Widow over it though. But you still got a lot of good figures in. I mean, you could double up on, you have an open sideline. You could double up on shifting focus if you wanted to, because there's the Battle World Captain America. One of the shifting focus has Spy. So you can play that one Spy to start the game and then switch over to your other Captain Americas. Like, shifting focus should be coming back come rotation.
Yeah.
Because you don't have ID cards. You have trouble alerts, but you don't want to rely on trouble alerts unless you're a Starro team. So.
Yeah. Or you have a team that's just, that you're going to be making, 3 or 4 attacks a turn.
Yeah, like the
possibility.
The Dr. Fate team we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, Dr. Fate team or, oh gosh. Yeah, okay. That's completely left my mind.
All right, that's good. That's fine. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if this thing. It's kind of one of those, hey, maybe I'll try it out a win map someday. The robot team is the main one I am working on now, and I think it's almost. It also has. I'm sorry, I didn't finish with it. It's Ultron, Amazo, a Danger Room, Magneto, and I'm debating between a Tri-Sentinel or popping on there 2 Brainiacs to give me a little bit extra oomph. So we'll see.
Yeah, get 2 Brainiacs, Alex.
Yeah. Well, speaking of getting 2 Brainiacs. Let's see about Brainiacs in our buy, sell, or hold section.
Click 3. Buy, sell, hold.
All right, welcome to Buy, Sell, Hold. This is where we are talking about what figures you should be buying, what you should be selling, or what you should be holding. It's kind of a weird market. A really, really weird market because some people got some JLU figures. Some people did not get some JLU figures. So... And the set's not even out. We don't know when it's going to be out. So, Sam, what are you trying to buy at this point?
Well, obviously a Brainiac.
Now, are you trying to buy him? Are you trying to buy him right now?
Well, I mean, like, I'm not saying buy him right now, but like, I mean, if one came up on the market, I definitely would like put my 2 cents in for it.
So tell me this, Sam. Ignore Dan's thirst for Brainiac. If you had your money out there, how much would you spend on a Brainiac today?
If one came on the market, I don't want to pay more than $150 per figure.
That's fair.
So I mean, obviously, like they wouldn't take the offer, but I would offer that. But I don't think paying over $150 per figure. I think that's absurd. Like the set's gonna come out, but I'm not saying. I mean, I would offer, but I'm not saying I would. It needs to go for. It will go for, but I don't know.
Right. So what else you buy?
Like I said, we're gonna pull all Brainiacs in our cases, okay?
Hopefully.
What else am I buying? I'm buying, like, if you needed trouble alerts, if you feel like, I'm not gonna play the team cards, and trouble alerts on the sideline because the sideline's not gonna be filled up with ID cards, so might as well put them on your sideline just in case. Just in case you hit that crit miss. That happens.
Definitely.
You could bring in a firestorm. He could do some. So if you're missing any of those, obviously buying those. And then you're just buying, Dark Phoenixes. I know that's what we're kind of looking for. If you got, just to kind of stock up on them because we still don't know what's come.
Right.
A
lot of uncertainty.
So you just need to stock up on stuff that you think, like, I like figure. I have one. I might need 2 or 3. So,
that's
and
fair.
obviously, if it's like, okay, I don't like Tri-Sentinels, so I'm not saying that I don't like. I love them, but like if I'm so and I'm like, I don't like how Tri-Sentinels play. I'm not gonna go out and buy 5 of them. I'll just have 1.
Right.
So just depends on your team that you're wanting to play.
Yeah.
So what are you buying?
I completely agree with you about the trouble alerts. Firestorm is really the only one that's held his value. He's still, I think, $40 to $50 because he's just so good. But Wonder Woman, one of the ones we were talking about, she's $20 to $25 right now, which is ridiculous.
She's so good because
she's like so said, good.
If you crit miss, like we've all been in that game where you need a 3 crit miss, like that happens. Wonder Woman comes out, gives you leadership, so you have that extra action of recouping from that crit miss. Right. If you need to move, like carry that person away or something, like that can happen.
Yeah. So definitely check into her. Flash, I think, is still expensive too, but looking to getting Superman, Batman, Robin, Yes, Aquaman, you could skip Aquaman, Hawkgirl, and Hawkman. Hawkgirl's okay.
Aquaman is fantastic on your sideline just because of how awesome his sculpt looks.
Sure. I would also be buying Emma Frost. I don't know if I mentioned this last time.
She's good.
Emma Frost Chase. Like as soon as we saw Batman Prime, and we saw that, like we were talking about it, and we were like, oh, range doesn't matter with Batman Prime. I immediately went out the Troll and Toad, spent $30, $35, bought an Emma Frost Chase immediately. Because I knew outside of the Onslaughts and Mojos, she could protect your team from Batman Prime. So absolutely. And with Hellfire and Rulers being a thing, and she has both keywords, absolutely. So if you haven't gotten her, it might be a little too late, but she's still, the meta hasn't happened yet. So Batman hasn't happened yet. So jump on that train. Definitely pick him up. I would also start looking at, we talked about it in the Batman set, and we'll probably get to this a little bit in Rebirth. Start looking back at Rebirth. It was a very underwhelming set. But these team-up cards make you have to go back and look at every modern DC set. Because you might get Martian Manhunter. So, for example, we're talking rare Martian Manhunter, and he has a Superman keyword. The list of friendly characters on the map, Martian Manhunter can use super strength and improved targeting hindering. Okay, that's pretty sweet. He can shoot through hindering. What Superman do I want? Well, we know most of Superman in Justice League and Limited suck, outside of maybe the Justice Lord one. But there's one in Rebirth. The super rare Superman for 175 points, who's really, really good. It's just he came out in a time that wasn't good. You had Collins that could pulse wave him to death, had other Collins that could do so much stuff to him. He's still going for $20 to $25 as a super rare in a set that just did not, outside of Mr. Oz, did not produce very much. So definitely check out not just Superman, but any of the other, like that woman in the set's pretty good too. Check out all of the ones that can go on the team up cards and see if you need to be getting them now before the wave hits and people are like, oh man, that Flash from Rebirth is awesome, or that LE Batman is great. Like, you should be buying those ahead of time while they're still a couple dollars if you don't have them, and just go ahead and get them. So that way, when they are expensive, you can either flip them to sell them or use them as team-up cards. So, Sam, that's my buys. What are you selling? What are you getting rid of?
Well, and here's the thing. If I had a Brainiac, we've talked about this before. If I had a Brainiac, I'd be so tempted to sell it. Because I'd be like, I want it so bad because it's phenomenal. But then it's like, if I can sell it and be able to buy 2 cases of JLU, do you take that chance? It's like, do you spin that wheel? Like, it's almost like, yes, I probably would, because I know that once the set drops, like, there's gonna be more out there,
I'm just imagining you going to buy a random booster, pulling Brainiac, and then selling him, and telling Dan, "Hey, pulled Brainiac the other day, sold him for like $400." Just
Jane would cry.
Yeah, I think he'd be so conflicted because he'd want Brainiac so bad, but if you were able to sell him for $400, he'd be like, "Well, I know that's a really good price."
It's like, what's the worst there? Like,
I might be able to buy 2 Brainiacs down the road with that. So
yeah. So, obviously, if you had that, if you're one of those people that have some of the new JLU stuff and you pull extra, or you pulled something that you're like, okay, I'm never gonna play this, like the Wonder Twins, and you're not a collector, sell it. Right now, people are looking for that stuff. People are wanting to get their hands on the new product. I think, you're selling, if you have Jason Weingard, you're selling that. If you know you're not going to play that kind of team, you're selling it now because people are looking for that, because it is going to be good. So
I just bought one, so yeah.
Yeah. We're trying to sell our second one. So, as I told Daniel, I was like, I don't see myself playing that. So let's sell it when it's hot. Let's try to sell it right now when it's people are looking. So I think that's what we're mostly selling, is just the new stuff. And like, if you have extra team up cards, I know they're not super expensive, but sell them so people get hands on them, and then whatnot.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough thing because pre-release prices are a thing. And as soon as pre-release happens, everyone say, don't buy stuff. Don't buy stuff because it's pre-release prices. Why would you do that? And so somebody who gets pre-release stuff, you battle, because you don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, I sell it for $400. But at the same time, I mean, that's the market. If you're willing to take the risk of selling it for that price, getting the money and not being able to get another one, I mean, it's hard to argue that. And it's hard to, does that make the game bad? No, because the smart players, the good players, know to not buy anything right now. It's the people that want to have it in hand before then, or want to pay what I call the convenience fee. Buying it now is getting the convenience fee. Hey, I've already got it. I don't have to worry about it come set release. I can just play the game how I want. Relax. And it's tough because, you feel bad about charging certain prices, but at the same time, it's not like it's a commodity. It's not like, with this whole issue, I'm trying to sell toilet paper for $300. It's Heroclix figures that you don't have to have because you cannot play them legally. Even in the ROC Online events, you don't have to have the figures, so you can't even play them. So if you're willing to spend that much money for a figure you cannot play, I'm torn. I'm torn to say that's your prerogative. That's what you want to do.
But I don't think there's been any outrageous pricing for the new GLU set stuff. I mean, I haven't really kept up on those pages. I just try to unfollow them. I'm still there, but I'm not.
Yeah, I mean,
it was just all the time I look at my feed. It was like new stuff. I'm like, okay, I don't need to see if you're selling commons and uncommons.
Most of the chases are going for $100.
But that's typical.
I guess.
That's typical, though. I mean, they'll drop once the stuff gets released, but they'll stay around $60, $50, $60. So that's not outrageous. I mean, the Brainiac's the only one that crazy.
Yeah. Outside of that, I mean, you're kind of already at the end of the. If you haven't sold your ID, keep them, because you're going to get pennies for them. They're maybe going a couple bucks a piece, and at that point, I might as well keep them. So that way, if I ever play Golden Age or locally or Modjestics type tournament, or WizKids ever comes out with a Golden Age event, I have some ID cards. Like that's pretty much, they are like your commons right now. They're just not worth anything.
Yeah.
So it's too late to sell those. But I'm with Sam. The Ruler Hellfire Club stuff, go ahead and sell it if you're not going to play it, if it's not your shebang, because those are the high ticket things. That and JLU are the high ticket things. Everything else is just not selling right now.
Well, I mean, I know there's people looking for Wendigos, people looking for Dark Phoenixes, people looking for Tri-Sentinels. Obviously the new stuff. So I mean, if you even have Wendigos and Tri-Sentinels just sitting on, you're like, I don't need. We have 19 Wendigos. Dana won't let them go. But if you're sitting on a bunch and you're just like, I'm not gonna play this. This is the time, because people are gonna start thinking post rotation, and they're gonna be like, I really need to play 3 Wendigos in my team. I only have 2. I mean, they're still $40. That's a tank of gas right now. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, no, nowadays that's 4 cars of gas.
Yeah, depends on what you drive.
Oh, that's true. Gas down here, I think, is $1.40 or less.
Yeah, I think I was $1.34.
I don't know.
The other day.
I haven't been to the gas station in 2 to 3 weeks. This is insane. So what are you holding besides a baby?
What am I holding? I'm just holding I think if you are a meta player and you're thinking about post rotation, you need to sit down and think of at least 3 to 4 teams that you're serious about, and you're holding all those figures. Now, that may be you're holding thousands of dollars worth of figures that could be good market right now, but you just don't know what's to come. So if you're set on Onslaught Hulk and you're like, I'm set on it and I'm going to sell all my Dark Phoenixes and everything, and then Rise of 4 Worlds are going to come out with a Marvel set that's going to be phenomenal cosmic piece, and it's going to be the thing to play, and you're not going to have any Dark Phoenixes, and it's going to be hard to get them at that point. So I'm holding, like I said, we have everything, but I'm giving advice, you need to think of 2 to 3 to 4 teams and hold those figures. Now, if you have extras, sell. But that's what I'm holding. I'm holding my team tightly, just in case of changes to come.
Yeah, I agree. That was me about a year or 2 ago. Especially today, because a lot of people are losing their jobs, unfortunately.
Mhm.
And hopefully that's temporary. But money might become tight, and so you're having to only hold on to a couple things as opposed to holding on to everything. So down the road, maybe we should come out with like an essentials guide again, because I've talked
Yeah.
about the must-have pieces. But keep your Kobiks, keep your traders, keep your Dark Phoenixes, keep your
If you get a Q Prime, keep it. Unless you are in super dire need of money, then sell it. But
Q Prime is probably one of those that I am okay selling, because he's just worth so much money and he can still be beaten.
yeah.
Hold on to all your special objects and equipment because they come a lot more important, because they're
Yes.
not going to be stolen as much. Exospecs and the Infinity Gauntlet become very viable because Exospecs died to Cyclops a lot. Not shooting through blocking, because that doesn't work, but just period. He could just run up and shoot. You don't have that anymore. You have to have, now there's some teams, Jason Weingart can come up there calling, bring in a Pog that can blow it up. Sure. You have a couple other teams that could do something like that, but there's
But it's
not
very
going to be a ton.
situational.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you can't. You have to build a team. You got to beat the field, but you can't beat one. Like you can't build your team to beat one person. You beat the field.
Yeah, and you got to keep in mind the risk. Like if Sam was going to play her Onslaught Hulk team, Onslaught 100% can run over, free TK one of your objects away, easy. Like he could just do that.
But then my Onslaught's out there to be murdered.
Yep, exactly, and he can be murdered.
Yes, easily. So it's one of those I don't take that chance,
Yeah, with my robot team, I am spending time equipping. I'm not taking your equipment. I'm just going to roll and hope you just can't beat my team. So keep that in mind. Equipment is going to become immensely more popular. Keep your exospecs. Keep the kind of crummy ones that were good for a little bit, like Proxima Spear. What was the other one? The Blades one. That's not Proxima, but the dude. Who's the dude from the Black Order? I'm blanking. I feel bad because I'm blanking.
Corvus Glaive.
Corvus Glaive, thank you. The glaive, his actual glaive. That's not that bad. Like that's actually a pretty good, like Blades Claw's Fangs, regen, but once per game, and then if he uses Blades Claw's Fangs and rolls a 1 or 3, the damage shield is penetrating. That's actually really good. It's just there's not a lot of people to put it on, but you chose better objects and you were afraid it was going to be, TK'd away and all this stuff. Just keep those items, keep the rings, because Mandarin hasn't seen a ton of play because there hasn't been a lot of tournaments since Cap. Honestly, there just hasn't. So he saw play at the qualifier. I believe it was Paris's team. I think Paris had him.
Who had who?
Mandarin. Yes. Paris was playing Ultra Mandarin. Chase, Jason Weingart, and Mandarin with 4 rings. So just hold on to your special objects because they are going to be your main thing after this. So after rotation.
Obviously. Yeah.
All right, Sam, let's get into our final thoughts.
Click 4. Final thoughts.
All right, Sam, we're here in Click 4. What are your final thoughts for the episode?
I just wish everybody to stay safe and wash your hands. Just stay safe, people. Like, I know it's scary times. It's the unknown that's what's scary. So just everybody be safe. Everybody do what you're told, and we'll get through this. And then we'll all play 7 days straight at Worlds, and we'll just we'll have so much Heroclix going on and be crazy.
That's fair. That's fair. For my final thought, definitely check out ROC Online. Not going to talk any more about that because I talk about it all the time. Join our Facebook group so you can get some Heroclix play in there. Yeah, I don't know. Just start planning. Like, if you're not going to play in states, which probably, may not happen, you've got so much free time now to be building, practicing, even if you're by yourself. sit down with the team and just look up on the screen, look up recent lists and look up, okay, I'm going to play a Hulk team. So put the Hulk team across from me and I'm going to play my team against it. And you can play by yourself and it's perfectly fine.
And another thing, just a side note, start looking at maps. This is the time to study maps.
Mm-hmm. Location bonuses become very important because you have the room now that there's no ID. So plenty of things to look at. So that's going to do it for this episode of Sudden Death. May all your eventual JLU boosters have Brainiacs, and may all your Super Sense rolls be 6s. Goodbye, everybody.
See you guys.